could go either way. Thoth definitely can do some damage, and he's great at least at defense. You know, he can poke out people from behind walls, around Phoenixes and things like that nature. So even if they do get behind, they have a ton of really strong defense when it comes to that.
They can prove their worth.
Well, thank you, Goras. We're going to dive right into Game 1 between Cold Llamas and the Poppy. Chat, who do you think is going to win the sets? This is Fuzzy Wuzzy joined with me in Aggro. And Aggro, I'm looking at Cold Llamas as much, but the junglers were around just to make sure anything did happen. And speaking of junglers, fails to make the rotation. He's going to blink. Bakasura will go ahead and ult. Creed is the target. Creed's going to go up in the air, and Creed is going to go down. That is first blood for Maniac.
That's easy. As soon as Maniac is able to pull Creed out of position and get him to contest on that totem of... No, Fails is going to be able to farm pretty effectively soon enough.
Well, there's going to be a Cataclysm from Geb. He's going to try to roll out, but Bakasura is going to go ahead and jump to stop it. Look at this. Draco Marino's trying to run away. He's going to shell himself. Genetics is going up. He's going to come back down. He's going to try to look. The Thoth is going to go ahead and ult and just barely miss. But Draco Marino is still the target as Maniac has made a rotation all the way from the solo lane to pick up that kill. And then the disengage from Cold Llamas. But the invade possibility on this blue buff is here with Genetics and Maniac, both right around the same level. So Maniac wants to continue the fight, even though Draco Marino has come back from the grave. Genetics is going to dash over to his counterpart in Maniac to get a little bit of healing, and Pretty Prime has shown his face just to see if maybe they can secure this blue buff. The blink coming from Bakasura, and Draco Marino is still the target, even though Creed is the one that's really low. Creed is really low up at the tower, but Maniac is taking tier 2, but Pretty Prime will pick up Draco Marino.
Really good isolation there onto the Geb. Fails is picking his targets very well so far in this game, but nice rotation in from Chekio actually stops Maniac's back, and with Creed TPing in, this could be problematic now for Cold Llamas.
Well, Genetics look to be the target for the Hieroglyphic Assault,
and now that opens up the door for the Poppies to be more aggressive on that left-hand side.
Well, Chekio seems to be the target. He's going to be able to pop the beats and try to dash away, but Marcus is going to dash in with him, but Fails wants the kill. Chekio will fall to Fails. A great Cataclysm, but he's going to get stunned out of the rollout. But Warchi is now in the back, and he's going to try to dive into the rest of the team. Warchi will pick up Streak Up. Kamazatsu is going to go up into the bat out of hell, and Marcus will pick up Fails. This is a huge win for the Poppies as Warchi gets a double kill, and the fight will still continue because Pretty Prime now is the target. Doesn't have a whole lot of mana. The slow from the rollout will happen and not the knockup. Pretty Prime will get stunned. Pretty Prime will fall. Marcus picking it up, and that is a huge 4-for-1 swing.
So every fight on the right-hand side comes up Cold Llamas. We're fighting around our Arthur who's ahead. Let's keep doing that. Instead, they go for a red buff invade, and what do you know? Now you end up losing 4 members. Maniac gets a little bit overextended trying to make a play. He gets soloed. You to ride that solo lane to victory. They didn't need a massive lead in order to win this game. It's not like the Poppies are going to outscale you. They have Osiris Uller. I don't think that's happening.
Well, a Cursed Onk was used, Cataclysm as well. Genetics is going to come in from the sky. A Lord of the Afterlife used, but Bakasura is in the back. Fails will pick up Creed. Maniac is going to be able to pick up Draco Marino, and this is what you wanted to see, Aggro. The rotation from the go over to the right-hand side. Help out Maniac, because he's just going to carry you to victory, and that's going to be a free Pyromancer for the Cold Llamas, and Warchi is still just trying to solo Streak Up.
Kind of weird. I mean, we're fighting around Arthur. We get 2 kills. Don't lose anybody. Get the buff. You know, now we get the Pyro vast majority of the time. That's the combo the Cold Llamas are trying to execute on.
Well, Warchi had to use his beads to be able to get out of that stun from Genetics, but the rest of the Poppies have shown up. Maniac, though, is going to fall onto the Warchi. Kamazat's going up into the air to go to the bat out of hell to go onto Pretty Prime just to apply that Brawler's beat stick. He's going to try to get it. Frenzy has been popped, but Genetics will pick up Marcus in the back. Pretty Prime trying to stay alive. Healing coming out as well. Creed just making sure everything is trying to get some damage off, but Maniac is making sure that the rest of the squad just gets zoned out. Creed falls to Fails, and this is a huge win for Cold Llamas.
That is the ideal Aphrodite engagement. Everyone chases her, she survives by the skin of her teeth, and it's just easy pickings for the rest of the squad.
Well, and Warchio and Chekio will fall, and Draco Marino will fall as well, and that is another deicide out of this game. That's 2 deicides we have seen in this 18-minute game, and they don't elect to go. The Primals will fall with the Fire Giant squad of Cold Llamas, and Tier 2 on the right side will fall for the non-Fire Giant Poppies. Frenzy will be popped for Cold Llamas as they're going to focus as Phoenix. Geb is going to go ahead and use the Cataclysm onto the tanks, but it does not matter because he will fall to Fails, who has been absolutely unstoppable, and now he's going to go ahead and ult onto Warchi. The shell was popped, but it does not matter. The Cursed Onk is going to be used by Creed. Bat out of Hell is going to go up Thoth will hit 2, but Streak Up does not care because he has the rewind. Maniac is going up into the air. Marcus will go ahead and fall to Pretty Prime. Pretty Prime trying to heal up. Checkio trying to get the Hieroglyphic Assault to hit, but it will not. He's just going to go ahead and try to fight under the tower. But it seems like now that they've got the sustain, they've got the healing, they might look to end, but no, they're going to go ahead and elect to back up. Oh, wait, Genetics blinked in. Warchi picks up Maniac. Creed now looking a little bit low as he's going to be the target. Bakasura has come back into the fight, but everybody's still here, and everybody's respawning. This could be the throw that the Papis have needed. That will be Fails falling.
Bit of an awkward decision, or lack of decision, it felt like, by the Cold Llamas right there. I don't think there's any world in which they can effectively end the game from that position. Just too many towers up on that idea. You want to make sure that left side Phoenix doesn't end up getting taken down by fire minions, and you kind of just send Creed on a flyer to see if he can get it. But the problem is, I don't think he's going to be able to escape.
Well, he was sent on a flyer by Arthur, but he's going to have to ult away, and Genetics went up in the air to see if maybe he can pull someone out. Creed is now going to get blinked on by Fails. He's going to get stunned and knocked up. Fails picks up Creed, and that is a huge win again for Cold Llamas just because they're able to get that Fire Giant. They pick up one of the tanks too. Is arguably not as tanky as he needs to be at this point, so now Checkio has to defend this mid Phoenix almost by himself. But Draco Marina and Warchi have made the rotation to help him out a little bit. Kronos doing some pretty good damage onto the Geb, making sure that he gets stunned out, but they're going to be
an FG, and they're going to try and backdoor right side Phoenix. That's all they're going to get, it looks like.
Well, Creed is going to go ahead and jump in and use his Frenzy. The Frenzy was popped, and then the ultimate from Geb to get the Cataclysm. Doesn't matter, though. The Phoenix is taking a lot of damage, as you said, from Streak Up, but in the back, Fails is alone. Fails will fall to Checkio. This could be the defense that they were looking for, but the right-hand side Phoenix will inevitably fall. Maniac is looking a little bit weak now, and that seems to be the target for the team, as Checkio picks up a double kill. A 2 for Phoenix trade on this right-hand side. Was that worth it, Aggro?
I mean, when you have Oni waves coming, you're able to get an Oni Fury. You've got 5 members up with 5.
He can get in there, but Marcus is making a rotation around from the backside. He's here as well, but not going to work there as the Cold Llamas have taken the Fire Giant, but Marcus is at full health with the rest of the squad. Maniac is going to get stunned out, and I think this is what the Papis kind of want. They want to see if they can aggress because Maniac is now out of position. A huge Lord of the Afterlife is going to come crashing down onto 3. Genetics is trying to rotate, but it does not matter. Marcus picks up Maniac. Streak Up is now the target. He's going to get the rewind, but it will not go off. Marcus gets a double kill. Checkio picks up Fails. That is a 3-for-0 trade in favor of the Papis, and that is exactly what you want, but Genetics is trying to run away from Warchi as Warchi is able to pick him up, so that's a 4 trade. Now, the only person left is Pretty Prime. Pretty Prime actually has no mana. The Geb is trying to roll in, but a great kiss is going to stop Marcus from pushing in, and as you said, I think this is game.
Should be. I mean, this should be a deicide now for the Papis, and really Cold Llamas just take too much time in order to get that fight going. Prime runs out of mana halfway through. Maniac, I thought, was going to be out, and then turned back around to try and go back in after that Fire Giant was done. Cold Llamas got super split up, and the Papis are able to take game 1 and really gift-wrapped by Cold Llamas.
Yeah, seriously gift-wrapped by Cold Llamas. It seems like that there was throw after throw after...
And not just that they don't have that innate anti-heal, but they don't necessarily have anyone that applies it all that well. I mean, you can get the Brawlers with the Uller, he can keep that kind of going, but other than that, it's not the easiest thing in the world. Souls, Divine Ruin.
Thank you, Gore and Finch. And yeah, it seemed like, again, Gore was saying it was just tier list. Let's just go down the tier list and pick up everybody that we like. And it seemed like that's exactly what happened again. But
when that's completely neutralized, it makes it a lot harder.
Well, speaking of harder, Draco Marino's going to have to pop the shell. The EI Jitsu is going to come out, but Warchi's going to do some crazy damage. He's going to try to get Streak Up, but it does not matter. Genetics, with the help of Archer minions, will pick up Warchi.
Beautiful use of the body blocks there by Genetics, and Streak Up had a phenomenal dash in order to catch Draco Marino, and also for that, because that is a huge key for mid laners early on in the game to keep that mana sustained up.
Well, Checkio trying to see if maybe he can get Genetics out, but a big kiss is going to come out from Pretty Prime. Look who made the rotation. It's Marcus. He's going to throw out the ultimate to try to get the slow. Genetics is slowed out, but Checkio is weak as a blink came out from Fails to try to get something. Genetics looks low as Marcus will pick up Genetics. Now Draco Marino is here trying to see if maybe he can pull off for his team. He will inevitably fall, but support for support, I don't know who technically wins that.
Can certainly happen. We've seen it a lot of times in the hands of guys like Aurora and PBM. So setting that Hercules a little bit behind is a good start.
Well, speaking of getting anybody behind, there's a great rotation here. Marcus is going to pick up one. Fails will pick up Creed in response, and Fails will pick up a double kill. So not only was it a failed rotation for that blue buff, they were able to pick up a couple of kills over there just to make...
I'm a little surprised that they draft this way when you have both the Aphrodite and the Hercules. Usually I'm pretty against doubling down on healing like the Cold Llamas have done here because you're just making the enemy's anti-heal that much better.
Well, Maniac is going to go into the sky as well as Fails to see if they can land onto Creed. Genetics made a great rotation, and Genetics will pick up another kill for himself. Creed will fall. Draco Marino now is the next target. Genetics taking a lot of poke from Tower, but that now will go into Maniac's hand, and Maniac will fall. That is a Ganesha kill, ladies and gentlemen, with the help of Tower, of course, but that's a big win again for Cold.
For the Papis. You want to lean on that Uller early, but no true Transcendence Rush for him. He's got the Blessing there. Means he doesn't have that stacked up yet.
Well, Draco Marino threw out the Dharmic Pillars. Fails is in the back to make sure that he gets Chekio out of the way. Marcus is looking a little bit weak. Creek will pick up Pretty Prime as the boulder falls. Genetics now look to be a little bit of the target because Chekio has now made the rotation. A Dash is looking for Genetics, but he's going to go ahead and get owned. He will get silenced. Marcus will pick him up. Fails now is going to be up in the bat out of hell. Maniac is there. Maniac will pick up one, but Creed will pick him up. Fails now is the target because he's trying to get Creed, but look at this. Fails is in a pool, so he will heal, but Chekio picks him up as well. That's a big win for the Papis because they were down a lot.
Pop up, but no knock-up and no damage follows it up, and that was critical for the Papis to be able to win that engagement.
And the Papis now are playing a little bit more on the front foot, but Pretty Prime is going to get some damage done to him because Bird's hurt, so does a Hercules, and Pretty Prime will just finish it up. And that's just, you know, Chekio being weak, no mana, and just being out of position.
Tried to get that red buff away, and did, but cost him his life and his beads. Definitely not worth it for the Papis mid laner.
But he's out of position, and look who they found. Genetics is actually the one that's out of position. He has to use the Aphrodite ult to keep him alive. Genetics can get the push, but the heal is going to come up as well. The boulder will drop. Maniac has made a rotation, but the mounted archery will do some damage. Creed is now in the back. Fails is going to go ahead and do that, but Creed will go ahead and fall to Maniac as now Fails is up in the air in that bat of hell to try to get him out of position. That is a 1-for-0 trade so far in favor of Cold Llamas, and they're still looking for more as Warchi having to pop the beast to keep himself alive, but Shriek Up is weak, and he's going to have to pop Aegis, so now Pretty Prime has to kiss the carry just to see if maybe he can keep himself alive.
And with that really aggressive posting from coming in off of that axe, but the Dharmic Pillars weren't great. Genetics wasn't on the line, which is really what needed to happen.
Well, Genetics now is the target. They're making sure that he can't dash away. Genetics is one auto away, but he's going to get the dash off anyway. Marcus will pick up Genetics. So now, it seems like Pretty Prime is going to be knocked up, so he has to use his beads. Shell is going to be popped as well. Some heals coming out to make sure Maniac tries to stay alive, but it does not matter. Doesn't look like he will because a great ohm to keep him silenced. Warchi will pick up Maniac. Shriek Up was on the mounted archery, did a lot of damage to the rest of the squad. So Pretty Prime and Shriek Up are here to see if maybe they can get some more, but during that entire time, that left-hand side tower did fall, so in Cold... While the rest of his squad of the Papis are going to get this Oni Fury, but they're still looking to see if maybe they can get something. A great Ohm again from Draco Marino to silence any damage potential out of the Camazotz. And there's one for you, Aggro, but Shriek Up will pick up Draco Marino on the backside, so it's a 1-for-1 trade. Fails has to blink into the back line. He's going to try to see if he can 1v1 Marcus. A blink coming out from Creed. Warchi will pick up Shriek Up. Pretty Prime will pick up Chekio. Warchi will pick up the other one. Maniac will pick up Creed. And that is a deicide for the Cold Llamas. Papis have 2 members left, and it's the 2 members you want, the ADC and the auto-attack jungler.
Yeah, this is...
Most everybody on the side of the Papis is level 20, except for Chekio and obviously the support, as Genetics is going to go ahead and pull back Creed. A great Dharmic Pillar is going to come out. Bakasura is going to ult, as well as the Aphrodite. The boulder comes out. Marcus doesn't care about your ultimate, Pretty Prime. You will fall, but Maniac picks up Marcus, a 1-for-1 trade. And now Creed seems to be the target because Shriek Up's doing some crazy damage onto him. He's going to be able to get away with slivers of health because of a great ohm again by Draco Marino. But it won't matter as much as Shriek Up gets another kill onto Draco Marino. Now Fails is looking a little bit weak as Warchi's trying to see if maybe he can get something. But Genetics, a great pluck. An Aegis comes out. The dash does not matter. That is an unofficial triple kill for Shriek Up, an official double kill. This could be the Fire Giant for the Cold Llamas.
Man, I don't know how that fight goes poorly for the Papis ever, because Genetics really just gave Creed a blink right onto his backline, and Prime got one-tapped by Marcus and Creed and the damage from the rest of the Papis. But now Fire Giant getting low. Creed is back.
Creed is back. Creed's trying to do something. Maybe he can get something out of nothing. The dash will come out. Cold Llamas will pick up the Fire Giant. Doesn't matter. They're not low enough. They want to keep fighting because the Fire Giant will help. Fails is going to dash in. Creed will only stun Fails. He can't get away from the inevitable burst that's happening, but he is a King Arthur, and he does have a few escapes in his pocket. So he's going to be able to blink away just before Genetics really helped out his team, and he's just a huge team fight potential.
Even though Streak Up hasn't played in the SPL before, the dude is SPL level, no doubt about it. He's performed at such a high level for a long time.
Well, that's going to be the Darlic Pinnos and the Cursed Ankh coming out. Marcus will pick up Genetics, so that's one member with Fire Giant down. Look at this, Pretty Prime is the next target, but Streak Up is going to make sure he does damage to the rest of the squad. Here it comes, a Maniac crashing over onto Chekio to see if maybe he can get some damage off. Creed has to completely disengage from the fight. Thorns was popped from Maniac as well to see if maybe some more damage. He might have a little bit of a fight because 4 people were there and not enough of his team was there, and he almost got half health by a few abilities.
But with Prime on his side, that's not as big of a deal, whereas Genetics going in finds Warchi, but again, silenced by Drake.
And Maniac gets blown up by Chekio immediately. The Dharmic Pillars have fallen. A blink coming out from Marcus. Marcus is on Genetics. The stun come out, but now the ultimate is going to have to use for the tank and Pretty Prime. That is Maniac gone for 50 seconds. They could look to do Fire Giant, but instead, they're just going to keep playing this patiently, even though all ultimates have been expended for the Papis, and only one ultimate has been expended for the side of Cold Llamas. There we go. Now the Fire Giant will start. Don't have any Primal Furies in their favor. Trying to see if maybe they can get something. Genetics has that boulder available. Genetics is going to be stunned out of existence, but Chekio's going to have to waste his beads. Now the focus is on that, but Fails is in the back. Fails is running at the back line. He's going to go up into Bat Out of Hell. He's going to try to land onto Marcus, who had Shell. Fails will pick up Marcus. That's a 1-for-1 trade in this long engagement, but Warchi will pick up Fails and having the beads burned as well. Genetics now running into Creed to see if maybe he can do something, but Warchi is now out of position. He's looking for something, but Draco Marino gets a great body block, a great stun, not as good as an Ohm as he wanted, and Pretty Prime will pick him up. This is the swing that Cold Llamas have been waiting for, because now Creed is just trying to stay alive himself. Warchi able to get a little bit of healing, but Genetics hits a great pluck, and that is a huge win for the Cold Llamas.
What a fight from Genetics, man. I mean, he sets that whole thing up.
They're being pinged on that right-hand side.
Yeah, Tier 2 tower isn't long for this world, but I think Papis need to be more worried about what's happening on the left.
And what's happening on the left right now is Genetics gets ohmed again. A boulder will fall and hit Creed, who is pretty low himself. Maniac is going to go and try to dash and actually ult in onto that back line. He's trying to see if maybe he can find some more damage. Dharmic Pillars come out. A great ohm. Fails is out of position. He's taking tower as well, so beats had to be used. Warchi picks up Fails. Streak Up picks up Draco Marino. But Bakasura is in the back, but he gets stunned. Marcus is going to fall to Streak Up. That's a double kill. Streak Up now is doing some crazy damage, and Genetics going to be able to get Chekio off the map. This could be the end that Cold Llamas have desperately been looking for, as now the left Phoenix has fallen. The right-hand side tower has fallen. Genetics is going to try to heal up with Pretty Prime, see if maybe he can get a pluck off. He's not going to be able to hit the pluck off, but they're waiting for minions to push up to see if something can happen with this fight. But if they wait too long, timers are 40 seconds, but if they wait too long for this, it could be the time that Papis need to respawn.
Surprised that this is where Cold Llamas are going. I mean, I guess you want to get that fire away from left into the Titan room, and you don't have to worry too much. You've got plenty of time here for Cold Llamas. This should be an easy end.
Well, they are looking for the easy end. Maniac is there, but Creed is in the back as a great solar burst was going to hit, but Titan is looking weak. Titan's going to fall. Boys and girls, we're going to Game 3. Cold Llamas picking up the W.
And man, comp from both of these teams score, so I do expect that we'll see at least some action here. I do want to say I think that a wheelish ban was pretty heads up, low-key. Papis, if they had gotten to put in a wheelish in that comp, would have been really, really...
Thank you, Gore, and we are coming right into the game as Papis and Cold Llamas Game 3, and Aggro, I have to say, this comp has completely turned itself on its head. We've gone from sustained chess matches to now aggression onto the purple.
Whirlwind of Rage and Steel has a potential to be really, really valuable. 2 forms of CC as well for the NEM. I like it.
Well, Chekio, not looking so hot, as Pretty Prime will get him with the Raiju, and beads were expended as well for the slow from Fails. Marcus now has to completely dash away to stop the damage from Fails as well. I'm kind of with the desk here.
Right now. I mean, he will be fast after his boots or after the next katana, but right now, he's significantly slower than Fails.
Well, they still get the red buff, and Marcus is now out of position. He's going to get spun. The Raijin is up into his drums. Well, one more will do it as Pretty Prime will pick up his second kill with a blind shot through the Yemoja ult. Great heads-up play from Pretty Prime, and now Fails is able to get that back camp free, even though they got the red buff already, so that was a huge win again for Cold Llamas there with the rest of his squad to make sure that he gets it. Warchi is now looking a little bit weak as Streak Up is going to go up into the sky. He's looking for the snipes. One will hit. The second will not. The third will hit. A blink comes out, and Fails is there to clean it up. That is 3-0 in favor of Cold Llamas.
And again, it's just making sure that Fails is in the right spots and just keeping pressure onto the Papis at all times. Now this tier 1 tower...
I don't think Scylla has ever had the red buff yet.
I don't think so, but this is good. Maniac under pressure. No ultimate for him either, and that Divine Retribution came through. Marcus able to get himself on the board, but not able to escape as Maniac picks up the kill with help from the tower. Bit of miscommunication there. Marcus, or I think that's really on Creed not getting in there.
This is really bad if I'm the Papis.
Yeah, this is desperation mode already. I think you're looking to make any play that you can like this. Finding Streak Up low on mana, but he's got reinforcements.
Well, the reinforcements showed up, but Draco Marino now is here, and now he will fall to the Riptide, but Marcus will be there. Warchi now looking weak as Fails will fall, so both ADCs inevitably falling, and I'm not sure who wins that one necessarily, because yes, you want the Rama to die. He's got 2 assists and 1 kill, but the Uller needs to stay alive in order for him to... So Marcus is now going to try to start this red buff. He might be able to get it, and he does. The red buff is finally taken by the Papis for the first time this game, and Streak Up is now going to be dashed on by Nemesis. He goes up in the air, missing 1, missing 2, missing 3. Marcus now has to pop the shield. He still picks it up. That's another kill for Marcus on the Streak Up, but Marcus will fall to the bat out of hell. Draco Marino, with no Omi, is going to pop the River's Rebuke just to get himself healed, but look who's here is Chekio. He's going to go out and throw the crush onto the back camps and try to leave as fast as possible, and he will.
Again, that's still good.
But continue to make sure that Marcus gets a kill or Chekio gets a kill. Just somewhere that it's a carry can get a kill. Make sure they don't get caught out of position. Chekio is going to spin to win again. Scylla is going to ult, but Draco Marino doesn't have the ult, but it will land onto Genetics, and he is half health. Drums are going to come out. The River's Rebuke, the taunt, the Bat Out of Hell as well. It won't be enough damage. She's going to be able to get the heal off, and Warchi has made a rotation over from the left-hand side. Creed will pick up Pretty Prime because he has made the rotation from the right-hand side. Blink comes out. Warchi picks up 1. A great fight from the Papis, but Maniac will pick up Warchi as he rotated from the left-hand side. So now Maniac is a little bit caught out of position by Creed, but Creed's just going to do some damage just to zone out the rest of his carries so they can waddle away.
Nemalt into Scylla Root Crush, and that player's dead, and you still have basically everything up. That's strong.
You mean like this that just happened, right? Where Genetics is almost completely
like
completely dead, and he just has to run away. That's exactly what you were asking for, and it happened. It's happened, and then there's Gear goes again, and ults onto Maniac. He can't quite get away, but look at this. Streak Up is up in the air, try to get some snipes. Creed will pick up Maniac, but Chekio is still here. Chekio's getting healed, and Fails dives into the back, and now he's got the Bat Out of Hell to try to disengage. He's going to look for Chekio, but it won't matter because Creed's there, but he just misses the pluck. Pretty Prime trying to get the Raiju off to see if he can maybe hit a squishy target, get some more damage off, but ask and ye shall receive, aggro. That's what it seemed like just happened.
Nice and easy for the Papis. Now they get Pyromancer. They've got Sustain on their side with the Yemoja. Why not head towards this Fire Giant? You've bought Genetics time to come back in healthy, but think that you've got the secure advantage here with I'm a Monster.
Well, they don't even need the I'm a Monster. The Papis will get the Fire Giant. They'll get the Taiko Drums. Creed is going to get spun into the back, but it doesn't matter because Marcus was trying to do something in the back, and he will fall. Creed will fall to Pretty Prime, but now Genetics just got blown up because that's 2 I'm a Monsters, a double kill. The reset's going to happen. Pretty Prime's going to the tier 2. He got slowed. The third one will hit. That's a triple kill for Chekio in the I'm a Monster. That is a Diaz side, and now the Papis have the advantage, and they're going to push it down this right-hand side.
That is insane that this game's going to end likely in less than 25 minutes, and it isn't Cold Llamas when they were up by 1 billion early on. That should be game, Fuzzy. What a comeback by the Papis.
They're pushing for the Titan. It doesn't matter that Maniac burned his ult. He's going to try to do as much damage as possible, but Chekio does so much damage with Crush, with the Sikkim. He will fall. Eventually, Maniac will fall to Marcus, but it doesn't matter. The Titan will fall. The Papis, who are behind the entire game, have won Game 3.